So why is Halo Infinite gearing up to be the worst Halo in the entire series? Halo mega fans, go sit down. We're going to talk real talk. I don't need your mega fan bullshit. All right, we're going to put all cards on the table here. This is coming from someone who has been a Halo mega fan. In the past, I've played every single Halo. I have thousands of hours, almost probably tens of thousands of hours into the Halo series. I've been around the block, and I'm here to tell you that Halo Infinite is gearing to be the worst Halo ever. Now, you might be saying, all right, King, why? Prove your point. Okay, I will. Let's start with the multiplayer. Actually, no. Let's start with the core, the mechanics. Every single gun needs rebalance. The BR, it shoots so slow now. Instead of your normal, it's now, but-da-da. And so you might as well not even be shooting it. You might as well shoot the DMR instead. The BR is so slow to fire now. It's terrible. And don't even get me started on the DMR. I personally have never been a fan of the DMR. But now you can rapid fire that thing like it's insane, but it does so little damage that you have to put a whole clip into someone's head just to kill them. And then the assault rifle, your basic weapon, the bullet spread is so bad that unless someone is almost right up against you, you're doing pretty much no damage to them. It almost, if you have a assault rifle, you almost have to melee somebody or shoot them with half of your clip and then melee them in hopes of killing them and hoping that they don't have a better gun than you. And it's so bad. And then whenever you do melee somebody, let's be honest, the ping, oh my god, the ping. I've never seen such horrible ping on a Halo in my life. And I have a feeling, oh, I know, keyboard warrior, shut up. I know. It's in early access. It's in beta. It's in whatever you want to fucking call it. Well, I'm here to tell you something here, Schnookums. Guess what's not getting updated? Because the game is getting released very soon. And for this kind of update, they would have to literally redo 98% of their multiplayer. As of recording this, Halo Infinite officially comes out in 1 week. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be less than that. But it still feels like garbage. Hot garbage. The sniper is so clunky. Man, the Halo 3 sniper, what, 6 games back now? How many, hold on. Let's pull up the how many games are in their Halo series. Just the Halo franchise. So we have, so we got Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Wars, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, and then Halo Infinite. There's 10 games in a series. We'll get to that, don't you worry. But Halo 3, which was the third Halo game, there has been Halo Wars, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, and Halo Infinite. Now you get rid of the Halo Wars games because those are RTS games, and you're down to 5 games. 5! Your weapons from 5 games ago feel better than your current. Hell, I wasn't a big fan of Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer, and it still felt better. And that was 2 games ago. Technically, the last game if you get rid of Halo Wars 2. Why is it our gameplay of Halo has seriously diminished so much. Because let's just be completely honest here. I don't know of anybody who doesn't believe that the first 3 games, one of the first 3 games, were the best Halos. That's when Bungie was making them. Bungie made ODST and Halo Wars, and then they left and sold to 343 for Halo 4 and up. 343, they did a pretty good job. Halo 4, I put a lot of hours in. I was in a tournament in Halo 4. I put in a lot of hours. I put in a lot of work. I did probably close to 1,000 hours in like 2 weeks on Halo 4 multiplayer. Probably not 2 weeks, but you get the point. That'd be impossible, but I did a lot of hours in 2 weeks, all right? Whatever. Shut up. Halo 5, we don't even talk about Halo 5, okay? I don't even remember half of Halo 5. It was so bad. Okay, so storyline. Let's go to the storyline, all right? Because the base core mechanics, like the gravity hammer. Let me swing my gravity hammer. Ooh! No, it's boom! Boom! That's why it's the gravity hammer. It's always supposed to be like that. In what world did the sword ever outperform the gravity hammer? Why? Why? Okay, you wanted to make the gravity hammer a little less effective. Decrease the range on it. You almost had shotgun insta-kill range on the gravity hammer. Decrease it. Pull it back a little bit. Get this shockwave that it sends out and pull it back a little. Don't take away the speed. That was melee weapon of choice. The Mauler. Ugh. You can shoot like six shots of the Mauler into somebody and they look at you with like half shields. It's terrible. Oh my god. Like the pulse rifle. Oh god, the pulse rifle. Oh god. They tried to make a Covenant BR. And oh my god. The bullet travel time. And it doesn't even do a lot of damage. Like you could hit somebody with multiple shots, multiple trigger pulls, every single bullet, every single bubble hitting somebody with the pulse rifle, and it does like no damage. Why? Your power weapons, your cinder shot is supposed to be a one-shot kill. Your shotgun is supposed to be a one-shot kill when at close range. You get up close to somebody and you pull the trigger and they're still looking at you like, were you gonna do something? I don't know of any game, any game in the entire community of game developers where the developers were like, we should make shotguns be at least 3 shots to kill somebody at point blank range. What? Like why? Then they tried to do like some fancy stuff with some weapons where you, if you like go to try to zoom in, it switches which way it shoots so you can have horizontal or diamond, and then you shoot it and you put every single shot into them thinking, okay, well, if I hit them with every single shot, it should do a lot of damage, it should kill them. No, you still have to hit them like 4 times before they die. This is just basic character. This is not overshielded character that you're shooting. It is just basic character, like point blank. You shoot them once and they're like, I don't. You shoot them again, they're like, I didn't feel it. You shoot them again, they're like, okay, my shields are down. And then you shoot them again, they're like, okay, I might die. Why? Your power weapons aren't even power weapons. Your base weapons are even more garbage. The pistol, they tried to make it a Halo 2 pistol, but they took away the damage. So you have to put in a whole clip into somebody's head with the pistol just to take their shields down, and then you have to reload it and then shoot them at least 2 more times in the head to kill them. Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but you didn't make the pistol relevant. It feels like a Halo 3 pistol all over again. You missed your mark. All you did was add a zoom. A zoom. The story. The story of Halo should have ended with Halo 4. I strongly believe 110% that Halo 4 should have been the last game in the series. But 343 franchise, 343 industry just picked up the franchise. They wanted to keep making more money. Okay, sure. But, problem. Master Chief, let's look up how old Master Chief is. Master Chief age. How old is Master Chief in Halo Infinite? Okay, so let's see. Set to bring back offering campaign mode, even though whatever. As the main protagonist, character is extremely iconic, especially to armor as Master Chief because the face of the franchise. It will take place in 2560. How old is Master Chief? Um, the community has worked out that Master Chief is biologically 49 years old in 2560, as he was born in 2511. As many fans will know, John was genetically mutated to become a super soldier by Dr. Halsey. Players know this gives the character inhumane reflexes and capabilities, but they're also wondering if it affects his age. Further, Master Chief can be found in cryosleep when he is out on a mission, potentially further slowing down the aging process. So although he is 49 years old, he could be much younger, perhaps by around 10 years. Okay, sure. Let me poke some holes into it, though. So he's 49 years old and he's genetically modified. Okay, he's still going to be pretty good. But genetic modification, we're going to give the benefit of the doubt and say that the genetic modification had very, very little side effects on the long-term side effects on the subject, and there was no negative ramifications on his health. Yeah, he became like super reflex and everything else, but we're assuming that there's no negative side effects. At 49 years old, you essentially start slowing down. We'll say probably about 35 to 40. That's when middle age strikes. So if he's a super soldier, he would probably have started slowing down by now. And then let's see, Master Chief, or how old was Cortana? Cortana age. Let's see, James Cutter, Master Chief, Arbiter, no, Hortas, Rookie, Buck, Noble 6, Carter, no, Cortana. She's 8. So he hasn't had the Cortana chip AI, whatever you want to call it, for his entire time in activation as a Spartan. Which, again, has a bit of a hole in it, and I'll get back to that. But Halo 4, he ends up going and Cortana is running rampant. And now, obviously, Cortana and Chief have spent 8 years or more together, and they have a bond. But Cortana sacrifices herself because she knows she's running rampant, because the AIs are only designed to be able to last for like 6 to 8 years, and she's at the end of her life. So, story-wise, why would she come back in 5 in the first place, or how would she come back? And they explain it, but that's such a far-stretching thing. But let's go back to Chief for a second. If he only had Cortana for 8 years at max, and he was in cryosleep for probably 2 or 3 of those years, then he had gone through other AI. He had gone through other individuals, other artificial intelligences that he's had. Dragons yelling at the cats. That he has had and been attached to and let go. So why is Cortana any different? So Cortana's running rampant. She sacrifices herself, and then Chief is attached to her, sure, but at the end of Halo 4, he takes off his helmet, and you see that this man is old and he's starting to show signs of wear and tear. And let's be honest, he has done his mission, he has done his job. He is at the point now where he has saved humanity a countless number of times, all on his own. He lost the AI that he got attached to. He should be retired. Done. That is where the Chief storyline should have ended. But they kept it going for one more game. They said, okay, Halo 5. Okay, sure. Why not? And I gave it a fair shot. I gave Halo 5 a fair shot. And like, okay, well, let's see what they have to offer. They offered hot garbage. They went with all of this, like, different things with chasing after the rampant Cortana, Chief betraying humankind. Like, okay. Let's focus on that for a second. Chief does all of this to protect everybody, or Chief and Cortana do all of this to protect everybody, and then Chief finds out that there is a piece of Cortana that apparently got sent down to this planet, and he is now chasing after Cortana, who is running rampant across the planet and trying to kill everybody and trying to get into a place where she can get into the interface to kill everything and essentially activate a ring again, which is the whole reason why the AIs were pretty much made after the Covenant attack, was to stop the rings to from being fired. So I'm just saying, like, a plot hole right there. But she's running rampant, she's going crazy, and Chief decides that he's going to turn his back on humanity for Cortana. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are like, oh, well, didn't you see how Cortana and Chief looked at each other? They were in love. Seriously? Seriously? They were together for 8 years. Obviously, they were going to be friends. Obviously, they were going to be close. I wouldn't call them in love. Let's be real. Okay? Yes, Cortana has a piece of humanity in her. Whatever they tried to, like, make special with Cortana and however they tried to describe it, she has a piece of that. And so yeah, she can probably feel emotions, and she's going through all of this stuff, but as she's talking to Chief, she's starting to run rampant. And if we look at her in Halo 5, that means we see where her mind starts going. So half of the shit that she said to Chief in Halo 4 could have been taken as her starting to run rampant. She was losing her mind. She didn't know what she was saying. She didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know what was happening half the time. Okay, so her being like, oh, Chief, I'll miss you, could have been just, oh, Chief, who are you? Just as easy. Like, let's just be honest here. She's running rampant. The whole point of rampancy is the AI goes absolutely insane and starts to break down from the inside out. And if they touch another system, that system ends up getting infected with the rampancy and collapses. Okay, why didn't that happen to the systems in Halo 5? At the end of Halo 5, I believe, you see Cortana, like, take over the Spirit of Dawn or whatever ship they're on, Pillar of Dawn, whatever. And like the whole Halo movie or Halo TV series that they brought out a while back, right, with Halo 5, like that was awesome. You kind of went through the process of, or saw the process of people becoming Marines and everything, and then they brought that main character back in Halo 5, and it was like, ooh, awesome, cool. And then they had this other thing with, like, different Spartans doing missions that never took off because it wasn't Chief. Well, I don't know how to tell you this. I thought it was amazing. They really, really need to get away from Master Chief. There's so many plot holes, so many different issues with Chief and the storyline that they've been trying to stick to, that it's such a stretch that even games who pick something from 20 years ago and try to build off of it when it was a cut and clean endpoint, they're still trying to do that. Because whenever Chief took off his armor and finally stopped saving the world in 4, that should have been the end of Chief. They should have went on. They even said, oh, hey, we started up a new Spartan program. Chief could have been an NPC in Halo training other Spartans. Sure, that's not quite like how he is. He's all action and very little talk. Sure, but the man is getting old. Let the poor man rest, all right? After a while, Chief starts to get a little dumb. How many times does he have to go through the same thing until people realize, okay, what was different from last game? Bad mechanics. Oh, they got bad mechanics, right? And as far as like the little preview that they brought out of the trailer for the campaign, there's almost no tie-in from what I saw to the Halo 4 stuff. Now, I know, keyboard warriors, sit down again. I know. Oh, well, you have to play the campaign. I'm sure they tied it in somehow. Ooh. Yes, I know. I gotta play the campaign. But why would I spend $60 on a game with a character that has been beaten to death and has clunky mechanics, horrible gunplay, feels like it's from Xbox 360 era, and the only thing good about it is it's on PC, and even then, it still runs like garbage. Let me just tell you about a little story about me trying to record some Halo Infinite gameplay. I was trying to record it. All it does is it immediately shuts off your recording devices on your computer. There is no fix for it. And then let's talk about what 343 did in regards to, oh, hey, we'll put it on Steam. But you have to have an Xbox account to be able to play. If you have Steam, but you don't have an Xbox account, and that Xbox account probably doesn't have gold, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to play multiplayer. So you just spent like $60 for no reason. You spent it for a campaign. That's about it. Because you have to connect it to the Xbox account. Why release it on Steam in the first place? Why have it anywhere besides the Microsoft store in the first place? It's dumb. It's pointless. It's stupid. Whenever I got a beta testing code for Halo Infinite, it was for Steam. I tried to hook it up to Steam, but because my Xbox Live account did not have Live at the time, guess what I didn't get to do? Play Halo Infinite. So why have it? It's pointless. All of the decisions that 343 Industries is making with these Halo games is pointless and dumb, and all they're doing is trying to money grab. Literally, they could bring out anything and say, oh, look, here's Master Chief and Cortana, and the Halo fans would be like, yes, I need it. Hey, look, here's a little styrofoam cutout of Master Chief that we bought on eBay for $2. We're gonna sell it to you for 200. Okay, sure. And people would buy it. They would legitimately buy, all because it's just a name. Get away from the name. How many times have people ripped apart a game and they didn't care what the name was? Zero. But if you strip everything away, if you strip the Halo name away, put basic character models in for all the Spartans, and you say, here's a game, people would hate it. 100% people would hate it. And every single time, I've heard someone say, oh yeah, Halo Infinite is great. I tell them why I think it sucks, and they're like, yeah, you're kind of right about that. So why do we look at a game and let it get away with such horrible, horrible design just because it's Halo. That's dumb. People ripped apart Halo Wars because it wasn't an FPS game. They did the same thing for Halo Wars 2 because it didn't feel like Halo Wars. Why can't we do that for the FPS Halo? What was it? There was a spin-off game, a Halo spin-off games. Um, what was it? Spartan Assault. They didn't call it uh Halo Spartan Assault for no reason. Spartan Assault, if you guys don't know, I gotta make sure this is the one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, this is a top-down game. Another RTS style game where it's like you just strategize and go through levels. It never kicked off because it wasn't Master Chief. Spartan Strike. I don't think anybody even knew Spartan Strike existed. Again, top down RTS style game. If you guys are willing to rip apart those games, why are you not willing to rip apart an obvious lazy Halo Infinite? Because it's not even like they tried to hide it. It's lazily done. And then so many people have tried to like cry about how they didn't like Chief's updated armor. They wanted to go back to the original armor and this and that. And I get it. You have nostalgia for the type of armor and the color of armor and this and that for a character that has been pivotal in your childhood. Sure, I get it. But everything evolves, everything changes, everything adapts to the new world. His armor, the Mark 6 variant, is nowhere near adequate for half of the stuff that he does. Let's be honest. There's so many other variants now, and there's other variants of his armor even that are completely upgraded, and people are like, no, we want the original. And then they were like, okay, well, let's put some scars and wear and tear on it so it looks like it's his armor that has been through a lot of battle. No, make it shiny. What you're expecting after all of this man got shit whipped around by how many different enemies that he's gonna have perfect pristine armor? Come on now. It's it's so bad. And like the thing that I think kind of irritates me the most cuz so let's look at other games. People ripped apart Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had done the same thing. They promised a lot and they didn't really bring forth anything that they promised. Well, why can we rip apart a game by CD Projekt Red that is a whole new series by a company not too much unlike 343 Industries, but when 343 does it to Halo, we still see, oh, it's Halo, it's perfect. Be honest with yourselves. Like I said, I would love to see this. I want to see someone take the Halo game and replace all of the Spartans with basic character models. And then tell me if that's still an enjoyable game. Remove the Halo name, remove all of that. Basic character models, just basic male, basic female, no Halo, just that kind of shooter. And then tell me if it's enjoyable to play. If you still say yes, then sure, maybe you do genuinely enjoy Halo Infinite. But if you say no, and you look past the Halo character models and Master Chief and the brand, and you realize that, hey, this kind of actually sucks, then maybe you need to rethink your spending options.